Regenerative farming is the most scalable, affordable, and immediate solution to climate change, but its adoption has been anemic. Only 1% of U.S. farmers have transitioned their operations despite objective science and its profitability. When rural electric co-ops pay their farmers to generate solar power with tracker sleds on cover crop fields, they will supercharge the adoption of regenerative farming practices, which will draw down immense quantities of carbon. As the soil regenerates, rainwater will infiltrate instead of running off, and the nutrient density of the food grown will skyrocket. Of the top 20 climate change solutions identified by drawdown.org, 8 involve the food system. Although wind turbines and solar farms are top 10 solutions, renewable energy can only slow climate change. It can't reverse it like photosynthesis can. Tracker sleds are bilaterally symmetrical plug-and-play units that link together to generate energy with a pair of single-axis solar trackers mounted over ballasted skis. From 16 prefabricated pieces, a crew of 30 can erect enough tracker sleds to fill a 12-acre field in 2 weeks. Once completed in a staging yard, tractors will tow the tracker sleds into columns on a newly planted cover crop field. Annually, tractors will tow these same sleds to an adjacent field, where the regeneration process will continue. Ranchers can use tracker sleds too to define paddocks where livestock can mob graze on cover crop forage. Most crop farmers, already prone to weather uncertainty, operate on tight margins and hyper-competitive markets. Consequently, they're reluctant to risk their livelihoods to experiment with practices that don't depend on traditional methods and proven agrochemicals. With leases from co-ops providing 9 times their average profit per acre, even the most ardent conventional farmer will try dual-use farming with tracker sleds. After 3 years, those farmers will discover the advantages of chasing profit over yields with lower fuel costs, lower labor costs, and lower input costs. Those farmers will then scale regenerative practices to the rest of their farm, and then they'll talk to other farmers. In the next 2 decades, national aggregators will force rural electric co-ops to juggle thousands of behind-the-meter solar farms on repurposed farmland in their communities. Alternatively, the co-ops can develop front-of-the-meter tracker sled farms themselves to lower electric bills, create jobs, and watch their farmers financially flourish as they draw down carbon. And when the cost of batteries fall, co-ops can ballast tracker sleds with storage to time-shift the dispatch of their power. In this hypothetical example modeled in Implan in rural Illinois, a distribution co-op can build 55 plug-and-play tracker sled farms to generate all its power and over $100 million in indirect and induced benefits for their community, while creating nearly 1,000 local job years. And that's not counting the $72 million to $142 million their farmers will earn for increasing their soil carbon by 1%. This figure could easily triple or quadruple over a decade, not counting the real estate's increased value. In steps of reward reflecting risk, TrackerSled investors will receive returns exceeding 25% for licensing Win-engineered modular designs to regional fabricators. Those fabricators will realize market rate profits for building tracker sleds on farms agreeing to assurance contracts issued by rural co-ops. These not-for-profit co-op customers will flip the switch on carbon, benefiting people, the planet, and profit. TrackerSled is our answer to climate change.